Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the new pro lineup of paddles from Luzz Pickleball. They have 3 paddles in their lineup. All 3 are elongated with 16mm cores, carbon fiber surfaces, and 5.4-inch handles. Starting off, they have the Archer, which is their only curved top option. This has a swing weight of 115 and a twist weight of 6.85. Next is one of their flat top options. This is the Saber. This has a swing weight of 120 and a twist weight of 7.10. And finally, they have the Berserker, which is their last flat top option. This has a swing weight of 122 and a twist weight of 7.20. For those of you unfamiliar with these numbers, swing weight measures the effort required to swing a paddle, while twist weight measures the paddle's resistance to twisting on off-center shots. So a higher swing weight number correlates with the paddle being slower to swing, and a higher twist weight number correlates with the paddle being more stable. In terms of the swing weight numbers we see here, the flat top Saber and Berserker models are both a little above average across all paddles, but in line for the elongated shape, whereas the curved Archer is about average, but quicker than most elongated paddles. What's interesting though is how high these twist weight numbers are for all 3 of them. Normally, elongated paddles have the worst stability measurements across all paddle shapes, but all 3 of these Luzz paddles have above average twist weight measurements. The Archer at 6.85 is above average for many hybrid shaped paddles, and the Saber and Berserker have numbers that rival standard shaped paddles, who typically have the highest twist weights. For elongated shaped paddles, these have some of the best sweet spots we have seen, but let's talk about this more in the construction. All 3 are thermoform paddles made in a hot mold, but they also utilize a hyperfoam edge wall, similar to what we're seeing in some recent paddle releases like the Yola Gen 3s and the Pickleball Apes Pulse. Finally, for the surface, all of them use carbon fiber with a peel ply texture on top. In terms of the feel of the paddles, they play very similar to the Pickleball Apes Pulse. All 3 pocket the ball well and give you a very dense and solid feel. Among the 3, the Berserker is the heaviest one, so it's the most solid feeling and pockets the ball the most. I was able to play both the Berserker and Saber stock with no issues, but the Archer I enjoyed more when I added 0.1 ounces of tungsten tape on the sides at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions. Now, one thing about the Pickleball Apes Pulse series that has been getting a lot of attention is how they break in after extended use. This gives the paddle a more trampoline-like feel where the ball shoots off the face significantly hotter, changing the feel of the paddle from an all-court style paddle to more of a power one. While the Luzz Pro lineup starts off feeling very solid like the Pulse series out of the box, it also has a break-in period like them as well. After about a few days of play, they began getting that same trampoline effect, and honestly, the feel between the 2 paddle series is pretty identical. I wouldn't say they're as powerful as the Yola Gen 3s, and I also found the feel to be a bit different. The Yola paddles have a bit more of a hollow and stiff feel, while the Luzz and Apes paddles still have a more solid feel to them with their break-in, and I would compare the power and pop to be just under the Spartus Olympus. Now, price-wise, the Luzz is pretty similar to the Apes paddles, so I wouldn't call them a budget option or even a replacement to them. As of now, the Pulse series comes in a standard, hybrid, and an extra elongated shape, though I have heard they're soon releasing a regular elongated one soon. The Luzz Pro lineup has both the normal flat top and curved elongated options, so right now, there isn't any overlap between the 2 for the shapes. So depending on which shape option it is that you prefer, then you can decide between the Pulse or Luzz paddles. As for the 3 Luzz paddle options themselves, the Archer is the one that will appeal to more people, as it's the quickest one and most customizable. The Saber sits in the middle as it feels more like a traditional elongated paddle, while the Berserker is a bit more advanced since it's the heaviest, though it is also the most powerful one. I think the Berserker is the most unique feeling one, but if you don't like higher swing weight paddles, then the Archer and Saber are the safer options to consider. Honestly, this lineup from Luzz really surprised me, and they've gone from a company making budget factory paddles to one that's made one of my favorite paddle lineups this year. If you do want to pick one up, I've added my discount code here as well as a link to buy one in the video description below.